the ghost. So like, I have questions. Doesn't count as your first time? Were you able to like, I don't know, feel him? I don't know how ghost sex works, but like, hey guys, it's Yarn Goddess Cosplay and welcome back to another episode of Stitch and Bitch Sundays. If you are new here, welcome. How you doing? Stitch and Bitch Sundays is where I crochet and I complain to you guys about a terrible TV show that I watched while I was crocheting. Currently, we are watching American Horror Story 1984, episodes 5 and 6. If you're a returning viewer, howdy. How y'all doing? Yeah, I know my last video was like, I'm going on break. I was going through it. I'm still low-key going through it, but like, I feel like yelling. And I was like, hey, you know what? I know some of you guys actually like messaged me and y'all were just like, hey, so like, I know you on break and everything, but like, I just want to know if we could get the tea on like episode 5 and 6. Like, I don't even want to watch it, but like, I just want to like, I want to hear about it. Like, I just want to hear about it. So, I was like, you know what, it's fine, it's good, and everything. Like, I actually kind of want to scream about it because it's just living in my head rent free, and the only way it's gonna go is if I talk about it. So, you know what? Here we are talking about it. Before we get into anything, I need you to do two things. One, go grab yourself a snack because episode 5 is on some bullshit, okay? Episode 5, I rewatched it and I was like, this is exactly why it took me so long to get to you, because your ass was the most tracking episode minus the second to last episode. Second thing I need y'all to do is subscribe. Like, subscribe if you like really like my content and everything, and like, you know, you're trying to help me get monetized. Oh, you heard it. Word of the day, monetize. It is a group project where I need you guys to subscribe to get me to 1,000 followers and 4,000 public watch hours so I can start making some coin from YouTube. I will not be able to do this on my own because this is unfortunately a group project that no one signed up for, but yet here we are. But yeah, so subscribe and everything, turn on the bell notifications so you get notified when I upload a new video. And have you gotten your snack? You good? You good? Okay, because I got my little project here and I already had my snack because I can't eat and crochet at the same time. It don't work out. It's not good for the yarn. So if you got your snack, you know, we about to get into it. So today's project, I'll be working on a sock. I don't know why I've been crocheting a bunch of socks lately. I don't know, the temperature dropped and I was just like, my toesies are cold. We're gonna get into American Horror Story episode 5 and 6. And y'all bear with me. I'm going to try to get these episodes as quickly as possible, but every day these writers woke up and wrote a new episode, and they definitely chose violence. They chose violence, they chose mediocrity, they chose the ghetto. So episode 5 starts with more of a background on Donna's story. I'm not going to recap anything from the previous episode. If you guys don't know what's going on, go watch it right there, or watch it right there. It's somewhere up there, but go watch that video, then get back to me and watch this one. But yeah, so Donna, we do a quick flashback to her basically following her father and thinking, oh my god, he's cheating on my mom. I should go follow him to this house and like, I don't know, confirm my suspicion and then go tell mom about this. So she sees her dad and everything and she goes to the house and she's just like, Dad, I knew it was you. And she doesn't find them immediately. Like, she goes into the house and she hears moaning, which, you know, everyone's just like, oh my god, they're f***ing. Which, you know, would have been actually nice. That actually would have been the preferred surprise. But nope, she goes into the room and I find it funny. She was kind of like, Dad, you and your whore better cover up. I'm coming in. And she goes into the room and she just sees a dead body like on the bed. And like I said, I wish they were so she sees this dead body on the bed and it's unnecessarily grotesque. I'm not going to show anything because I don't want YouTube to be like, get this off my platform, and I don't want FX to be like, yo, you sharing our shit? So just know that it's unnecessarily grotesque. It's American Horror Story. If they're not having sex, they're having a lot of blood. If they're not having a lot of blood, they're having a lot of sex. Sometimes they're having both. It's just that kind of show. And she's looking at this woman and she's just like, oh my god, well, what the hell? And she looks at this wall and she sees this wall of just, you know, previous women that have been murdered by her dad, and she's just like, father. How, what? So she's getting ready to leave and everything, but she's still mostly in shock. And as she's backing up, guess who's behind her? Her dad. Yeah, her dad stumbles into the room and he's just like, well, shit. It's not a funny scene, but for some reason I was laughing because one, I was so done with the show. Like, the first time I watched it, I was like, oh my god. The second time I watched it, I was like, Jesus Christ. The third time I watched it, I was like, I can only make it through this with laughter. Like, my people have been using laughter to get through all kinds of shit, and this is no different. So I'm just like laughing at the scene because she's just like, how long have you been doing this? And I don't know why, but the way he says, my entire life, just made me crack up because it doesn't, I just really want to know, how was he able to have a wife and kid and still murder? Like, I'm not trying to question his, I don't know, motives or what, but like, he basically explains that he has this like darkness inside of him that just, you know, he thought he could, you know, ignore, but it just gets louder and louder, and then he finds himself killing again. And I'm just curious as to how like him and his wife, her mom, met. I'm just like, what she, like, I just have so many questions. And this is basically how Donna is too, because this is what leads her down her path of trying to figure out what makes, you know, mass murderers tick, because her dad was a mass murderer. And, you know, she's like, hey, I need to, you know, become a psychologist or continue my studies as a psychologist and figure out how do you get here. Also, real quick and everything, this is the guy who plays her dad. If his face looks familiar, he's actually Tuvok from Star Trek. So, you know, hey, love to see a black man making his money. I'm not saying the bag is pretty, but the bag is gotten, okay? So basically, Donna comes to and she wakes up and she sees Mr. Satan, and Mr. Satan's just like, hey, guess what? I know about your dad. You know why? Because, you know, Satan. And her dad appears before her and she's just like, this can't be real. What's going on? You're like dead. Because, you know, in the flashback, I forgot to mention that, like, he killed himself because he apparently can't deal with the idea of his daughter knowing that he's a mass murderer. You know, the mass murdering wasn't the issue. It was the fact that his daughter knew about it. And that right there is where he draws the line. Her dad is like, you know, brought back via Satan. So he's like, look at you, just like me, just a daddy's girl. And she's like, I'm nothing like you. And I'm just kind of like, I don't know. You ain't killing anybody directly, but the indirect killing has been very loud. You have contributed to many a death tonight. Basically, she runs off because she's just like, fuck this, I can't deal with all this, I need to get out of here, I need to, like, you know, stop this whole experiment because Satan's real, I guess. And, you know, I just saw my father and I'm killing people, and for some reason now I feel bad about everything. So we come back to Xavier and everything, like, you know, he's with the group and all that, and he is losing his shit. I hate Xavier so much, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I really just he's just so shallow. And he's still somehow auditioning while he's acting. Like, I'm not really sure what the directors were doing. They were just like, hey, Xavier, you're an aspiring actor. You're also doing porn on the side because you can't get a real acting job. But, like, even after being put in the oven and, like, you know, having to kill one of the camp counselors and everything, your main focus is still gonna be your career. So remember, if your career is ruined, your life is ruined. So, you know, he's freaking out and everything, and he's like, you know, oh, we gotta, like, you know, take the fire from the car and make, like, a signal for someone. And everyone's just like, no, don't do that and everything. Like, that doesn't make any sense and all that. And he decides to say, I have breathed a fire of 1,000 white hot suns. Like, he's so dramatic. Like, I understand, you know, he was put in the oven. He was put on broil for like maybe a minute and a half. I'm not saying none of that is traumatizing, but I don't think it's Shakespearean, like, worthy traumatizing, you know? Like, I don't think it's like bad Shakespeare. Like, it's not even good Shakespeare, it's just bad Shakespeare. Like, I feel like at this point, the actor who plays Xavier is just kind of like, hey, you know, look what I could do. I have breathed the fires of 1,000 white hot suns. Yeah, he should be on Broadway. Xavier basically gets knocked out by Margaret, which, all I know, I'm surprised she didn't just kill him on the spot, but I guess she doesn't want to, like, you know, give her whole story away, so she just knocks him out. And of course, she's very much like, I'm so sorry, in the name of Jesus, I didn't mean to do this. I'm like, bitch, you kill people. Stop. It's your raggedy self. So eventually the group decides to go back to a cabin because, you know, they're obviously not safe out in the open next to a giant fire because they still think Mr. Jingles is out and about killing people, and Mr. Jingles is just like, I'm trying to get the fuck out of here. But they don't know that. So, you know, what's the better idea than to, like, you know, go into the cabin with Margaret, the real killer. Gosh, the ghetto. So mind you, as all this is happening, Montana is still trying to kill Brooke. Because, you know, she didn't forget about that. She's just upset that her and Mr. Safety Man couldn't do it. So now she gotta get her hands dirty. And she's just like, ugh, I'm frustrated, but like, I'm willing to do it. But also, I wasn't planning on doing this, so I'm upset about it. So, you know, Brooke remembers that Margaret has a gun because she's just like, you know, you've been saying that I have a gun for the last 5 episodes, so where is it? And Margaret, of course, is just like, hey, you guys, so guess what? The gun's empty. Yeah, I know. I talk big shit about it all season. And then the moment it's actually, you know, applicable to the situation, it's empty. So Margaret decides to, like, you know, basically set the plans to kill one of them privately. So she decides to make up a bullshit story about seeing campers across the lake and that they should, you know, break up into smaller groups. You know, she's willing to go ride the boat and take someone else with her to go get the fake campers that she just made up on the spot to go tell them, hey, we're dying out here, and have them come over and get help, or I don't know. The whole thing's just a bunch of bullshit. She's just trying to get one of them alone with them. So Montana obviously is like, you know who needs to go with you? Chet, the guy who was impaling his shoulder, who can't really defend himself because he's possibly bleeding out slowly. Because I need to stay here and kill Brooke. So they look at Chet and they're just like, go. And Chet's like, fine. Xavier's still knocked the out, so you know, he's useless. And even if he wakes up, he'll probably just spew out more bad Shakespeare, so he really just double useless. And Chet goes with Margaret. And I don't know why, I just felt really bad for Chet. Like, I really don't like him, but like, his story is so simple. I feel like he doesn't really deserve to be here, but it's whatever. The writers did what they did. Margaret and Chet go off to the boat, and now Brooke and Montana are left alone in the cabin with the sleeping Xavier. Montana's like, this is it, this is my chance, I got an axe. And Brooke looks outside and she sees Ray. Now mind you, this is dead. So how is she able to see Ray? I don't know. But she doesn't know that Ray's dead. So she's like, oh my god, it's Ray. And I don't know why she always forgets there's like killers outside. So she's just like, I should go chase after him. And I'm just like, bitch, there's murderers outside. And also Montana's trying to murder you. And Margaret's you know what, girl, you right. You right. Just go live your life. Go chase after Ray. Nowhere safe. Brooke eventually runs into Ray. And Ray is just confused as all hell. Like, he doesn't remember what happened. Why is he wandering around the camp? He vaguely remembers riding Mr. Big D's motorcycle, but he doesn't remember that he got killed. So that just tells me we got ghosts and we got amnesia. So we got forgetful ghosts. So they hear a jingling sound. They're like, oh shit, it's Mr. Jingle. So they go hide in the cabin. So the camera basically cuts off to Chet and Margaret on the boat. And I don't wish death onto anyone. But boy howdy, Margaret could have gone so much sooner. Like, these writers were just like, listen, okay, this show is bad, but listen, you're gonna feel hatred towards Margaret. That's the one thing we did right. So they're on the boat, and obviously Margaret's gonna kill Chet. There's no, like, you know, surprise about that. But it's just the way that she kind of leads up to it, where she's just like, hey Chet, do you ever think about death? And Chet is just like oblivious. And mind you, he's also like possibly like heavily like out of blood. Like, he's probably just losing all the blood. So he's just not getting it. And he's also just like, you know, delusional, whatever. So he's just like trying to reassure Margaret that everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna make it out of this. It's gonna be okay. And Margaret's just like, I don't know why, but like, when the writers choose to make a character like the bad guy, there's a certain levels for me where if you're just like a bad person and you're like greedy or whatever, I'm just like, okay, you're an asshole, you know? It's whatever. You could die, you could live, you could go to jail, you're just an asshole. And then there's like phobias and other things that really causes me to be like, you know what? Kill them. So she just casually sprinkles in as they're talking about death and everything that Chet needs to, like, you know, bring God into his heart. Because she could tell the real boys from the fake ones. To which I was like, bitch, what? What? This is what we're doing? Homophobia? Oh, this is what we're doing? Okay, you know what? Mr. Jingles, I'm gonna need you to just, I don't know, come back on that warpath real quick for this one bitch. Just one more person, okay? Just stay focused with me and just go kill her real quick. I'm not really sure how. Doesn't have to be on camera. On camera's preferred. But it could be off camera. I just need to know that she goes. She basically kills him. And the way she kills him, like, makes me really sad because he generally seems like a good actor, like, right now. Like, in like these last like moments of like this character's life, like, he's gonna be a ghost later because that's the whole point of this camp. He died in the camp, he stayed in the camp. It's no big surprise. She knocks him out, and then he wakes up briefly, and she like takes the chain to the anchor for the boat and wraps it around his legs, and then just basically waits for the chain to go all the way down to the bottom of the ocean or the bottom of the lake and drag him down with him. And for me, I have like a real big fear of like drowning. Like, I have low-key, I don't want to say drowned before, but I have. Like, I remember actively like trying to swim and then giving up because I was just too tired, and I was like, well, I was like at peace for like 10 seconds, maybe like even like 3 seconds, I don't know. But it scared me, it genuinely scared me. And watching him like watch the anchor go down and him just be like, no, and mind you, he can't do anything because his shoulder's messed up, he's blood loss, everything. I was just like, nah, Chet. Oh my god. You know what? Let me get in on the show with this for a couple seconds. And let me just kill this bitch. Like, just real quick. Like, she hit so many triggers for me at once. I was just like, you know what? You were on my shit list before. But now you made it to number 1. And it's really hard to do that because my shit list is long. So the show cuts back to Ray and Brooke. And, they smash. Just why not? Like, why not have this really traumatic like death scene, and then American Horror Story being on brand? It's like, no, we need sex scene. So yeah, they smash. And I think what kills me about all this is that, like, 1, they're actively hiding away from killers. 2, Ray is dead. 3, he's like, was it good for you? And she says, I wouldn't know, it was my first time. And there's just so much happening in the scene where I'm just like, okay, 1, you just fucked the ghost. 2, he had to ask if it was good. 3, you're all apparently a virgin. Of course the writers would throw that in because, I don't know why, but they just did because the show's shitty and I hate everything about it. And also, more importantly, she fucked the ghost. So, like, I have questions. Doesn't count as your first time? Were you able to, like, I don't know, feel him? I don't know how ghost sex works, but, like, I have questions. I have concerns. I just really want to know, do you need protection from a ghost dick? I'm sorry, I was way too invested in the scene. But basically, long story short and everything, they have like this cutesy little moment, and she's just like, oh, I had sex for the first time. I'm not sure if I came or not, but like, popped my ghost cherry. And eventually and everything, like, they run, I think she runs off to go like get like a drink or whatever because, ooh, sex, so thirsty. And she goes into the fridge and ta-da! Ray's head's in the fridge. And she's just like, what the f are you? And he's just like, is that my head? And I'm just like, you the only black person here. Of course it's your head. Who else had that tight 4C carpet looking hair? It wasn't Xavier. It was you. So I don't know why he's confused. But like, he's confused. She runs back out into the woods because, mass murder is everywhere. You can just run off wherever. It's fine. And she runs back into the cabin with Montana and Xavier. Before she got back to the cabin with Montana and Xavier, Donna got back to the cabin with Montana and Xavier. And Donna tells Xavier and Montana that she's the reason why Mr. Jingles is out. To which Xavier is just like, you're the reason why my career is stuck in radio? You're the reason why I had to breathe the fires of 10 hot suns? You're the reason why I look like this? I'm gonna kill you now. Shallow mother. You know what? It's fine. Go chase after her. I hope you fucking die. And he chases after her with the axe that Montana had. And Montana's extra quadruply pissed now because the axe that she had for Brooke is now Xavier's broken hands as he chases after Donna. She's just like on the verge of tears, angry now at this point. She's just like, I'm just trying to kill one person. I'm going through all this. I done invoked the wrath of Satan. That didn't do jack shit nothing. And now I have to kill her myself with no weapon. When Brooke gets back to the cabin, she is alone, like alone with Montana. And she's just like, oh my god, I just a ghost. And I don't know if he knows he's a ghost. I don't know what's happening here. I'm losing my shit. I can't. So when Montana, like, she basically like has like this like deadpan, like I'm just done with everything. And so she just knocks Brooke the out. So meanwhile, while Xavier is chasing Donna through the woods, Donna gives him the slip and she runs to another cabin. And that cabin has who? Mr. Jingles in it. And she's like looking at him and he's looking at her. He's still like recovering from the bullet wounds he sustained earlier from Margaret's gun. I feel like Margaret's gun needs to have like its own like sound effect at this point. Just be like, da-da, Margaret's gun, da-da-da-da. Because it pops up every so often, but it's never like out when it's needed, like a dick. So she sees him, she tells him, or he tells her about Margaret, and Donna for some reason is just like, oh my god, it makes so much more sense. Oh my god, I fucked up everything. I've killed so many people. You know what I need you to do? Kill me. And I'm just like, Donna, not you asking a white boy to kill you. Me and all the ancestors were disappointed. We're just like, Donna, we have standards, okay? There are certain ways that we die. This Fortunately, Mr. Jingles is on the same page I am in, and he's just like, nope, you have to live with your choices, okay? I have to live with my choices. I was innocent until tonight. I didn't kill anybody until tonight. And I'm just like, we love accountability. But yeah, so he's just like, the only person I'm killing tonight is Margaret. And I'm just like, yeah, kill her, get her. I'm like, ooh. He basically limps off. Donna's just like, damn, I couldn't even get a white boy to kill me. God, I guess I really gotta live with my, decisions or whatever. So like, the key things to remember next are Montana and Brooke are in the cabin. Brooke wakes up, and Montana basically tells her why she wants her dead, and she's just confused. And she basically is just like, you're crazy, why are you trying to kill me? Everybody out here trying to kill me. And it's not funny. But like, y'all remember when yeet was a thing? Y'all remember that word yeet was a thing? And people talk about yeeting themselves off cliffs and like, yeet stuff too. I have never like physically seen a yeet before, but Brooke decides to yeet a radio at Montana's head. And it made me laugh so much because the trajectory was just like boink, and like it boinked off of Montana's head, and it's such a comical throw, I swear to God. Like, I laugh at this scene like every time I watch it because she's like and the radio's like boink and Montana goes down really hard. And I'm just like, this bitch didn't throw a radio at your head and then run away. So Montana gets hit upside the head with the radio and Brooke runs away. Mr. Jingles is wandering around the camp and everything looking for Margaret. Margaret's back in the boat trying to like, find her next victim. And her and Mr. Jingles basically meet up. And Mr. Jingles, is a pretty massive guy, and he just starts choking Margaret out. And I don't take joy from things, but Margaret is about to die, and unfortunately, who ruins it? Xavier, to everyone's disappointment. He comes out, he magically has a bow and arrow from somewhere, and of course he's still low-key auditioning or whatever for whatever role he's trying to get outside American Horror Story. But this shallow ass is just like, I played Robin Hood back in '79, thanks to Camp Redwood, I'm back in character. No one cares, okay? No one cares. But of course, it's Xavier. So Xavier basically throws a bunch of arrows into Mr. Jingles, and Mr. Jingles falls down. Because mind you, he still has bullet wounds, stab wounds. He's been going through it. Like, he's down and everything. And Margaret decides to pretend to be passed out, and Xavier's just like, Margaret, are you okay? And she wakes up and she says in this really weird, never better. And I'm just like, oh bitch. And she gets up and kills Xavier, which, I'm still not that upset about it, because Xavier really, I don't want him dead. I'm just saying I wasn't sad when he got killed. But the way Margaret kills him, she's on top and she stabs into him, and she just looks like she's taking a little bit too much joy from this. I'm not saying she had an orgasm, but she definitely came a little bit. I'm not sorry, but Margaret, why? Mr. Satan is just wandering around the camp, scot-free, because he couldn't kill Brooke, so he's just like, I'll just do whatever now. He runs into Mr. Jingles and he's like, hey, do you want to live? Do you want to accept Satan as your savior? all right, sign here and here. There you go. You live from all this. So now Mr. Jingles is Mr. Satan, and those two are a thing. Margaret, I know, just wanders around the camp for the rest of the night until sunrise, and Brooke is like running away from Montana the entire night, and like she's trying so hard to kill her. It's like almost frustrating. I'm just like, bitch, if you're gonna kill her, like do it. Like I don't understand why you're just like screaming the entire time and just being all huffy. Like I feel like you're trying to psych yourself up to do it, because like as much as you want it, you can't. Brooke eventually gets caught by Montana. Montana's just like, I'm gonna do it, and then Brooke is just like, no, self-defense, and she basically just murders Montana in front of a school bus full of kids, because the kids are still coming to the camp in the morning, and you know, they all need therapy now. The episode ends with Montana realizing that she's dead. There's a bunch of cops on the campgrounds. They're finding bodies everywhere. They're just like, yo, what the shit happened here? Montana, I think, kills one cop, and Mr. Jingles and Mr. Satan, they take that same cop's car and like drive off. And it's just a clusterfuck of just, wow, okay, everyone's dead. Margaret plays a victim, and she's just like, oh my god, it's me again. I stabbed myself in the leg, but you don't know that. And she makes it out scot-free. And I think the only thing this episode gets is the fact that at the very end, they were just like, hey, seatbelt. And they both start laughing because, you know, they can't die because they have Satan as their savior. Alright, so now we're on episode 6, and when I say we're going to get through this like just rapid fire, we're going to go. Ready, set, go. Episode 6, Mr. Jingles is over all the killing. He's just done with it. They've been killing for a year, and they're just like, he's like, I'm done. I don't want to do this no more. So he basically just rats out Mr. Satan. And it was kind of funny how he does it, because they go, like, you know, they're infamous at this point. Like, he's been killing for a whole year, and people are just like, watch out for Mr. Satan. He's gonna get you. And they go to, like, this kind of, like, I don't want to say it's like a burrow, but, like, it's very much like a, brown neighborhood, and I say brown because there wasn't a bunch of like black people around. It was just a bunch of like ambiguous Hispanic, Latina. Basically, he rats out Mr. Satan, and instead of the whole neighborhood being like, oh, we should call the cops, they just all agreed to beat his ass. And it's like so great, because he's running away from this mob of people who are just like, they got crowbars, they got fists, they got brooms, they basically corner him and beat his ass, and someone else decides to call the cops, and eventually gets arrested and has to go to jail. Mr. Jingles takes the opportunity to take the car and drive by and basically just sip on some soda and be like, told you guys that I was done, and then he like drives off and everything. And I'm just like, that was unnecessarily petty, but that was great. That was amazing. Back at the camp, basically Montana and Xavier just killing whoever the shows up at the camp. They don't fucking care. They're just like, oh hey, this is Camp Redwood. Y'all want to be here? Okay, well guess what? You can be here forever. And then they kill them. And I'm just like, why? But it's whatever. But even in afterlife, racism still, like, you know, runs amok, because they make Ray clean up all the bodies. Unnecessary. Trevor is alive. Woo, I know, plot twist. Like I said, I told y'all to get your snacks, okay? Our heads will be spinning this entire time. Basically what happens is Margaret has stabbed Trevor, but she missed his heart. Trevor wakes up. He's like, I'm gonna blackmail you. She's just like, all right, guess what? I'm actually gonna flip it around. I'm gonna have you marry me, and I'm gonna give you all the money you want, as long as you don't testify against me. And he's just like, why do you want to marry me? I'm blackmailing you. And she's just like, guess what? Spouses can't testify against each other in court. To which I'm just like, that sounds like a lie. But I don't know that much about how lawyer stuff works, so maybe it's true. So basically Trevor gets married to Margaret, and he gets all the cocaine and money and cars and workout videos that he wants. Brooke is in jail. She's obviously in jail, and like, guess who she runs into? Mr. Satan. And he's just like, hey, guess what? I know I tried to kill you and everything, but like, you beat my ass like a pro, so do you want to also accept Satan into your life? And she basically tells him to f off. And he's just like, damn, you would have been a great one. And I think he's supposed to be a character, like an actual like character of a real murderer in the 80s. I honestly don't fucking know at this point. Whatever kind of like, you know, Easter eggs they put into the show, I don't fucking care. I'm just trying to get to the end. We're on episode 6. We got 3 more episodes left. This fucking sucks. What else happens? Oh yeah, so Margaret eventually finds out about all of the murders at Camp Redwood, because, you know, they're not really being quiet about it, but she's also just like, shit, I don't really have anything going on over there, but if people are visiting my property and, you know, dying, I could be held liable, because Margaret's whole thing now is to buy up property and use it as tourist sites, And that's just her whole thing. They list off a bunch of different names and places, popular mass murderers in the 80s, like Gacy and everything. And she's just like, I buy them all and turn them into tourist shops because you know what? Capitalism. Oh yeah, real quick tidbits. They hate Trevor and Margaret hate so much. She literally is just like, I could kill you at any god-given moment if I fucking feel like it. And he's like, don't you fucking do it. I don't fucking care anymore. And then for some reason that makes him hard. They also started throwing a bunch of cameos. He's in this as the secretary for Margaret, and like, I'm like, cool, make your money. The season sucks. Like, I'm not opposed to you getting your bag, but like, damn, the season's bad. Benji, Mr. Jingles, because his real name is Benjamin, but everyone calls him Benji, has a whole ass family in Alaska. Because he said, I'm fucking over this shit, and he found himself a former prostitute and had a kid with her. And this, oh, I could feel it in my chest. I could feel the rage boiling, because he's sitting down in front of his kids, or he's sitting down in front of his one child, his singular child, and he looks at him and he looks at his wife, and he's just like, I don't deserve all this. I used to be a killer. I killed people before. And she looks at him and she's just like, baby, you're my Superman. You saved my life. You were a murderer. I was a prostitute. People like us have to forget the past. And oh, what I wanted to scream! I don't understand why out of all the shitty things this show has done so far, I don't understand why they have to equate a woman's sexuality to a mass murderer. She was just popping for the money, and he was killing people. He was fucking killing people. Those two are not the fucking. Margaret decides to plan a whole festival on the camp grounds because she's like, ooh, new murders and stuff. We should definitely have a festival here because this means I can make more money. And obviously when she goes to the campgrounds, Chet and Montana and everyone else who's there who she doesn't know about are just like, we're gonna kill her. And Montana's just like, not yet, Chet. Like, I agree, she needs to die, but like, not like this, not in front of the crowd. God, Satan finds out about the camp because he's a giant Billy Joel fan. Or is it Billy Joel? Billy Idol, one of the Billies. He's a giant Billy Idol fan. And he has this like girl who like, I don't know, shows him her tits and then keeps him informed about the outside world. Because, why not? And she's basically just like, you need to get out and go see this and everything because you need to like, make a legacy for yourself. And I'm just like, yo, you can make a legacy for yourself through like painting, charitable donations and stuff. I don't know, clean the earth or something, but not through mass killings. But what do I know? So basically he makes his plan to escape, and he has Satan on his side, so it's fine. He can escape using the power of Satan. He also like is like hellbent on like getting back at Mr. Jingles, aka Benji. So he also like goes out of his way to like go find him and kills his wife, but not his son. I was worried for a second. I was like, listen, I know the show is dark and fucked up, but like if y'all not warning me about some darker shit, we finna fight. So basically Mr. Jingles drops off his son with his wife's sister. For some reason they all live in Alaska. And he runs off to like, go kill Mr. Satan because he's like, you killed my wife, you killed my happiness, I'm never escaping this, and I guess this is how I end. God, what else happens? Oh yeah, plot twist, Brooke doesn't die. Donna decides to sneak into the whole, I don't know, place where she's supposed to get killed. Or the whole place where she's supposed to get executed because they found her guilty and everything. And Donna just like, gives her a fake sedative that causes her heart rate to slowly, just some other bullshit. And basically Donna and Brooke are together now, and Donna's just like, hey, guess what? I want to help you start over your life again because I fucked it up and I feel bad about it. That's how episode 6 ends. I am so done with this fucking show. There are 3 more episodes left. I have no idea how I'm gonna fucking cover them. I fucking hate it here. And like, I really hope y'all like and subscribe and enjoy this torture because Jesus fucking Christ, they really. But real quick, progress. We were like down here, now we're up here. Look at that. Look at me multitasking. Woo. Getting better at it. But if you guys like this video, be sure to like this video. If you guys haven't subscribed already, feel free to subscribe. I'll be back on another Sunday. I don't want to say next Sunday, but I'll be back on another Sunday with another Stitch and Bitch Sunday video. But hope you guys have a great rest of your day, rest of your night. Whenever you're watching this, I hope your snack hit just right because ooh, this was a lot. But I'll catch you guys next on another episode of Stitch and Bitch at some point in the future.